وبركاته. أفلح من صلى على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. هل أتى على الإنسان حين من الدهر لم يكن شيئا مذكورا إنا خلقنا الإنسان من نطفة أمشاج نبتليه فجعلناه سميعا بصيرا إنا هديناه السبيل إما شاكرا وإما كفورا إنا أعتدنا للكافرين سلاسلا وأغلالا وسعيرا إن الأبرار يشربون من كأس كان مزاجها كافورا عينا يشرب بها عباد الله يفجرونها تفجيرا يوفون بالنذر ويخافون يوما كان شره مستطيرا ويطعمون الطعام على حبه مسكينا ويتيما وأسيرا وصلي على محمد وآل محمد ويطعمون الطعام على حبه مسكينا ويتيما وأسيرا إنما نطعمكم لوجه الله لا نريد منكم جزاء ولا شكورا صدق الله العلي العظيم. الفاتحة مسبوقة بالصلاة على محمد وآل محمد.
صلوات. تیروں کے مسلح پر وہ سجدہ شکرانہ تیروں کے مسلح پر وہ سجدہ شکرانہ شبیر نے بتلایا اسلام پہ مر جانا، تیروں کے مسلح پر وہ سجدہ شکرانہ، بھولی ہے نہ بھولے گی عباس وفا تیری، بھولی ہے نہ بھولے گی عباس وفا تیری، دریا کی ترائی سے پیاسا تیرا لوٹانا، تیروں کے مسلح پر وہ سجدہ شکرانہ، شبیر نے بتلایا اسلام پہ مر جانا، تیروں کے مسلح پر سوچو تو مسلمانوں یہ بات کوئی کم ہے، سوچو تو مسلمانوں یہ بات کوئی کم ہے، احمد کی نواسی کا دربار میں آ جانا، تیروں کے مسلح پر وہ سجدہ شکرانہ، کچھ اس طرح لاش آئی ایک رات کے بیاہ کی، افسوس کے مادر نے بیٹے کو نہ پہچانا، تیروں کے مسلح پر وہ سجدہ شکرانہ، شبیر نے بتلایا اسلام پہ مر جانا، تیروں کے مسلح پر صلوات۔
Dear brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum. عظم الله أجورنا وأجوركم بمصاب أبا عبد الله الحسين وجعلنا من الطالبين بثأره مع إمام منصور من آل بيت محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. With your permission, inshallah, we ask Hajj Hadi to come to the member with the loud salat ala Muhammad wa Ali Muhammad.
سورة مباركة الفاتحة. أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين. الحمد لله الذي هدانا لهذا وما كنا لنهتدي لولا أن هدانا الله. والصلاة والسلام على خير خلقه والنور أرش أفضل الأنبياء والمرسلين حبيبنا وسيدنا وسندنا وشفيعنا ومولانا أبي القاسم محمد وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين المظلومين. أما بعد، السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله وعلى الأرواح التي هلت بفنائك. عليك مني سلام الله أبدا ما بقيت وبقي الليل والنهار، ولا جعله الله آخر العهد مني لزيارتكم. السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين، خصوصا سيدي ومولاي أبو الفضل العباس ابن أمير المؤمنين، سيدتي ومولاتي Respected elders, brothers and sisters in Islam, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. MashaAllah, may Allah bless the ones that come after Ashura. Subhanallah, you guys are very special, very, very special. You are the ones that don't want to leave the tent. Even though the tents have been burned down, you are the ones that show up looking for more, looking in the ashes, to see the scent that was once there. Subhanallah, may Allah bless your souls for coming out tonight. Inshallah, for tonight's topic, we're going to be discussing a very crucial subject that affects each and every one of us. And it has recently, as I see trends going on online, become a tool against the very ethos of our belief. In recent years, obviously, the Shia have been very critical of other sects over the last decade or so, I'd say. They've taken to online platforms, mashallah, they've been reading other sects' books, they've been trying to make a case for the supremacy of the imamate of Imam Ali alayhi salam. And while they were doing that in the process, they ruffled a lot of feathers, They ended up crossing the red lines for our Wahhabi counterparts. And what happened there is they went on the offensive. They went on the offensive and they devised certain talk tracks, certain scripts to confuse the youth. And as a result of that, I'd say in the last 5 to 6 years, I've seen many of our youth leave the way of tashayyu or imamate. And I came to realize that there's a specific script they're using. If you go online to my debate, actually with one of these ex-Shia, he's not really an ex-Shia, but that's how he markets himself for, obviously controversy. You'll see that he's trying to apply that talk track, and you can also see that if you enter the debate with a proper strategic method, with a method of debating and remain the questioner, you will be able to expose the box that they're trying to put you in. So the first part of tonight's lecture, we're going to be discussing what are the current shubuhat, what are the current things that are being thrown at us, how they're weaponizing our hadith against us, like some of the people were weaponizing their hadith against them. How do we overcome some of these arguments? And inshallah, once we move the arguments and the sake of debate and all these polemical discussions away, how can we approach the 12 Imam discussion from a spiritual lens? How can we, once we move away all this noise, what is so special about the supremacy of having 12 Imams around one prophet? Inshallah ta'ala. So what they've done is they've went into our books and they found a hadith in Usul al-Kafi by the fifth Imam, Imam Baqir, salawatullah wassalamu alayhi. And in that hadith, they find that the fifth Imam says that our religion is based on 5. The Imam says Salat, which is prayer, Siyam, fasting, Hajj, the pilgrimage, Zakat, the charity, and Wilaya, the vicegerency or the leadership of the Ahlul Bayt alayhim as-salam. And in that hadith, Imam Baqir alayhi salam makes something very bold. It's a very bold statement he makes. He says, if you don't have the wilayat of Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam, then the other 4 become null, void. They found this hadith, and they now corner you with this argument. How dare you have a hadith that says something like that when your 12 Imams' names are not in the Quran? How dare you expect Muslims to have the wilayat of Ahlul Bayt when it is not a clear-cut usul of the deen? How dare you have this type of belief where you think that Sunnis are kuffar because they don't believe in your 12 Imams? You have to hand it to them. That's a very creative strategy. And so the first thing they're doing is painting you as the takfiri one. You are the one that is saying, anybody who doesn't have the wilayat of the Imam is a kafir, which is a lie. We do not do takfir on our respected brothers of Ahlul Sunnah. No scholar today makes that claim. All right, let's get that out of the way. The second thing they're doing, if you pay attention, is they're boxing you in to only using the Quran. You only can use the Quran to defend your point against this hadith. Now, it's a very easy thing to do to switch the argument, but you have to first pay attention to see what they're doing. They're saying Imam Baqir first says, whoever doesn't have the Imams, all 4 of these other acts of worship become null. Therefore, the Shia are saying we're kuffar. Second thing, because it's so important, it should be in the Quran. So therefore, you are a deviant, you are an innovator, you have created new essences of belief, and now you're enforcing it upon us. So the first thing you do when you're speaking to someone is, do you base the entirety of your belief on what it says in the Quran? Start there. They will say no. Well, why can't I do that? Well, because Quran mentions salat, but it doesn't tell me how. Quran mentions that dhabiha or halal meat should be there, but it doesn't show me the procedure. Quran mentions many subjects, but it doesn't give me the details. So you would say to your respected opponent, well then how do you know all these things? Where do you turn to? And they'll say the Sahih Sunnah, the authentic tradition of the Holy Prophet. Great, let's start there. But Brother Hadi, you don't believe in my Sahih Sunnah. I don't need to use your Sahih Sunnah because I have the Imams of the Ahlul Bayt, but I can still find parallels between us. I can still look for parallels when it comes to the subject of leadership. Do you agree? All right. Now, in order to appease the people that are saying that you can only use Quran to prove your point, today we sit in at a crossroads where we are actually being takfired for not liking a specific wife that has no Quranic foundation. We are being takfired because we don't like certain companions that has no Quranic foundations. And typically when you say that has no Quranic foundations, what do they say? As-sabiquna wal-awwalun min muhajirun wal-ansar. They'll say in the Quran it says the forerunners from the Muhajirin and Ansar are the ones that Allah has blessed Jannah and stuff. So therefore you can't not like any of the companions. This is a very interesting verse. You use one verse and for the rest of their lives these companions have impunity to whatever crime they can commit. They even kill each other and they're still going to go to Jannah. This is a very interesting line. You know, the answer to that is, there's just one word in that verse. Min. From. Not all. From. Some of them. Not all of them. Muhajirun and Ansar. From them. Not all of them. Does the Quran say which ones? No, it doesn't. So why do you takfir me? You see how they do the crime, and then they make it sound like you're the one doing the crime, and they've already created an entire scenario for you. So in any debate, you always ask, what do you believe in? What things do you accept? Do you accept the Sahih Sunnah? Do you accept Bukhari? Do you accept Muslim? Once you get that validation, now you can apply your intelligence. Now you can show that you've read your work. So in that debate, if you go watch it, the first thing I do is, here is the foundation of the concept of the 12. Surah 5, verse 12. And Allah took from the children of Israel, how many? 12 chiefs. And if you follow them, what does Allah say? And give prayers and give zakat, surely Allah will accept your good deeds. That is in response to the hadith of Imam Baqir. What did Imam Baqir say? Zakat, prayer, siyam, and wilayah. Without wilayah, all of these are not accepted. Allah is saying, without the wilayah of these 12 chiefs, you will be astray. So when I presented that, you could see that the individual was definitely losing confidence, because he himself did not remember that verse when he was making these claims. Allah, from the children of Israel, appoints 12 nuqaba, 12 chieftains, to protect the sanctity of that religion. Stop here for a second. Is there anywhere else that you see the number 12 pop up in? Plenty of places. How many apostles does Jesus have? 12. How many brothers were the Prophet Yusuf's family comprised of? 12. Yaqub had 12. And so the number 12 becomes a sacred number. It becomes a pattern of revelation when it comes to the religions, not only in Islam, but before Islam as well. We'll come back to this spiritual point in a bit, but let's focus on the debate. Back to this debate. So we covered that you believe that the Quran only cannot be used to discern your faith. You need to use additional things to verify what's in the Quran or make sense of it. Number two, we discussed that the Quran itself talks about the appointed 12 that are not prophets, but subsidiaries of the prophet that will protect and honor the faith, and if you follow them, you will not go astray. Perfect. Number three, in your authentic books, is the concept of the 12 mentioned? In all of them. Different iterations that the prophet has said, O people, after me will come 12. There is the 12 khalifas, the 12 amirs or umara, the 12 qayyims, all within their respective books of the Ahl Sunnah. I'm not even talking about those random books. I'm talking about the main books. And interestingly enough, their scholar, Ahmed ibn Hanbal, says that after the Prophet, there will come 12 khalifas, like the 12 nuqaba of Bani Israel, like the 12 chieftains of the children of Israel, pointing at Surah 5, verse 12. Remember these verses. Build your relationship with the Quran. They throw a verse at you, you throw a verse back. So at this point, you corner them. You have given them nowhere to run. Now explain yourself. Who are your 12 khalifas? Historically speaking, there are way too many khalifas. We had the 4 khulafa. We had the 4 rightly guided caliphs going up to Imam Ali. Then we had the Umayyad caliphs. Then we had the Abbasid caliphs. Then we had the Ottomans. Between all of these, 50, 60, 70 khalifas have gone by. Where are the sacred 12 that the Holy Prophet mentioned? So then you have to now ask this question. If the Prophet's words are sahih, sunnah, and you follow the sayings of the Prophet, is there a scholarly consensus on who the 12 Khalifas are after the Holy Prophet? Nope. There isn't. Al-Nawawi, which is a famous Sunni scholar, says, I don't know when the best 12 Khalifas came, so I'm not even going to attempt to answer this question. Suyuti has his, Ibn Kathir has his, and Ibn Kathir's has Yazid as one of the Khalifas after. So imagine the level of disarray on such a simple hadith. Now, is there any sect outside of ours that knows who these 12 Khalifas are? Ismailis don't have 12. Zaydis don't have 12. Bohra Ismailis don't have 12. Just look at all the other sects of Islam to find 12. Can you find it? Nope. Now, this is funny. In the debate, he got irritated. The opponent got irritated. And he said, well, how am I supposed to know who the 12 are? Is it on the Kaaba? And he just led me right into the next question, or the answer. And I said, oh, it's not on the Kaaba. It's in Masjid al-Nabi. It's in the Holy Prophet's Mosque. And he lost his mind. Because many people don't know that the 12 Imams' names is in the core of Wahhabism, right in the heart of Wahhabism. In the Prophet's Mosque, you will have the 4 caliphs' names, and by order, starting with Imam al-Hasan, all the way to Imam al-Mahdi, ajjallahu ta'ala farajah. So we have the 12 Imams in the order of the 12 Imams that we know, in gigantic forms of calligraphy, bigger than even that clock. You see that clock? Bigger than that, maybe 3 times bigger than that. When you go to the Holy Prophet's Mosque, inshallah that you go, you will see all the Imams after the 4 caliphs in order all the way to Imam Sahib al-Asri wa Zaman. And before, they used to have the letter Hay, or letter Ha, which stands for Hay, which means living Imam, next to Imam al-Mahdi's name. Over time, the Saudis didn't like the fact that they were appeasing us, so they changed that Ha to a Ra. Radiyallahu anhu. May Allah be pleased with him. It's interesting, isn't it? So then the individual, my opponent in that debate, he says, well, you know who put it there? The same kuffar like you, the Naqshbandi Sufis of the Ottomans, put it there. They're as bad as you are. You are a kafir and so are they. I said, mashallah, you just takfir the whole world. Why don't you? I said, your Saudi government's there. Why don't they take it down? It's a crime. If it was me, I would take it down. I'm like, well, they didn't. And you asked where they're posted. But what you did for me is you made my life easier. Not only do we believe in the sanctity of 12 Imams or Khalifas or successors, the Naqshbandis agree with us. The Sufis agree with us. They believe in a living Imam. They believe in the tariqah that goes back to Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam. They agree with us. So now there's 2 sects that believe in the 12, and we're both agreeing with each other. There isn't a separate 12 to look at. So now we have to go back to this number 12. What is it with this number 12 around the 1? So hopefully at this time, the debate is over. At this time, whatever you needed to say, you've already said. Because they will try to spread doubt. They'll say, oh, your imamat went this way with Ismailism and that way with Zaydism and all of that. But then you have to come back to this number 12. This number 12 is your savior. That your lineage of imamat is the correct one that the Prophet wanted. No matter how many books they come up with to try to show offshoots of Shia Islam, come back to the number 12. Okay? Now, why is the number 12 so important? Remember I said in the medieval Islamic period, a lot of the philosophers' work started entering Islam, and it forced Islamic thinkers to start rethinking how they're processing Islam as well. Not only on matters of Tawheed, but a lot of their teachings actually taught a mystical nature to Islam. See, the people of Greece, Pythagoreans and the Aristotelians, they had a way of looking at reality. In fact, some people are under the impression that these philosophers could have been unnamed prophets in their own regard, open to interpretation. But the thing was that they looked at reality and they were looking at patterns. Have you ever heard of like the Fibonacci sequence or the golden ratio? For example, they realized that there's a certain sequence of different branches in reality. How many branches a tree gives off? I'm one human body, I have 5 limbs, from every limb, 5 fingers, 5 toes. They look at all these branches and they see how reality forms itself. It's so specific, like the design and the patterns are so specific that today there's a lot of TikTok videos trying to convince you that you're in a virtual reality, that this is actually all simulation, like the Matrix movie. That's how perfect the system is. And Allah challenges us to look at this specific system. Now, the other thing they discovered, and you'll actually find a lot of these shapes and sacred geometries back home in Isfahan, in Shiraz, in the medieval Islamic period, you'll see all these geometric designs take over our mosques. And many people just appreciate the beauty without seeing the source of where that beauty is coming from. They believed in something called sacred geometry. They believed that the building blocks of the foundations of our universe came in different forms. And these were called the Platonic solids. First coined in the name of Plato, or Plato, for the ones that don't know, it's Aflatun. I'm sure you guys have heard Aflatun. Plato came up with 5, there's only 5 of these types of geometric shapes. I'm going in a different direction. You've never heard this stuff before, remember. The geometric shapes are 5. The tetrahedron, the cube, the octahedron, the dodecahedron, and the icosahedron, which is 20. These are 5 shapes that when they connect each of the same shape with the same angles and the same sides, they create a ball-like shape, kind of like a soccer ball. You see how it's weaved together? Each one of these shapes represents an element they've discovered. They've seen these patterns in different places. For example, the tetrahedron represents the fire element. The cube represents the earth element, and so on and so forth. The 5th element is the dodecahedron, which is 12 faces that go around pentagons, perfect angle. They attach to each other and they create this 12-face shape or geometry. Okay? This element is not fire, water, earth. Fire, water, earth. What's the last one? What am I thinking? Air. There we go. Thank you. Thank you for I'm missing one. So it's none of those. The dodecahedron is called ether, okay, or the cosmos. Ether is basically the divine energy. You know, when we're talking about Tawheed and we're like consciousness, God is existence, the very thing that creates the fabric of existence. The Platonic solids, the dodecahedron, has to do with the cosmos. Follow me here. They believe that anything that has its own reality that enters into this has to follow this type of reality. They looked at the zodiac signs, you know, the 12 signs around the sun. The sun is the one reality. There's 12 constellations around it. Jesus, the Jesus reality, the 12 disciples or apostles around it. Now, Dr. Robert J. Gilbert, who is an esoteric PhD, also includes in his research the 12 imams and the prophet. He says, in order for a new reality to enter this earth, there has to be 12 around the one. Ether has been studied for many years, even the philosophers and the mystics, and also we call it, if you remember my 2022 lecture on Kitab Allah, we're saying Al-Kitab is the ether by which the Prophet pulls the revelation from. If you guys remember that lecture, go back to it. Al-Kitab. That's why the Quran says, ذَلِكَ al-kitab. That is al-kitab, not itself. That's why whenever you refer to the Christians and the Jews and the Sabians, it says Ahl kitab, not kutub, not multiple books. There's one kitab by which every prophet is pulling from, that ether. Whenever it comes to Prophet Muhammad entering this reality, the only way we can identify and understand Prophet Muhammad from the philosopher's lens and their cosmology and the building blocks of the universe and the spirituality and all of those fun things that I mentioned, the only way you can process Prophet Muhammad is through the 12 faces. There is no other way to Prophet Muhammad. It is the sacred one with the 12 around it. The dodecahedron is the Muhammadan reality. You can confuse so many people with this, but the truth is that the Platonic solids were the building blocks that they identified with this reality. They looked at the building blocks, they saw what things compose each other, they looked at certain ratios, they looked at sacred geometry, they saw that the universe is comprised with just patterns, and the artist is the divine itself. And so, when you come to the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, it's almost at the core of his prophethood that if he did not have the 12 representing him, he would not have been a prophet. He would not have been a cosmic entity that entered this reality. That, O Prophet of Islam, I recognize you by the 12 that represented you. If the Holy Prophet is the sun, then the 12 are the rays that touch the rest of creation. So the command of Amir al-Mu'mineen is the command of the Holy Prophet. Our command is Alawi. And the generosity is Hassani. And our sacrifice and honor is Husseini. And our worship is Sajjadi. And our fiqh is Baqiri. Our theology and aqidah is Ja'fari. Our patience is Qadhimi. Subhanallah. Our knowledge and wisdom is Radawi. Our hope is Taqawi. Sorry, not our hope. I'll come back to hope. Our compassion is Radawi. Our kindness is Taqawi. Our dedication is Naqawi. And so on and so forth, all the way to Imam al-Mahdi, which is our hope. Our hope is Mahdawi. Each Imam in each generation showed us a face of the Prophet that would have been long lost had it not been for those Imams. That the cosmic reality, and as the Sufis call it, the Haqiqat Muhammadiyah, the Muhammadan reality, comes to fruition through the teachings and the existence of the 12 Imams themselves. Had he not have had those 12 Imams, then his entirety would be erased from our reality. We already discussed that Dr. Joshua Little's research on Hadith studies indicate that none of that Sunni Hadith actually go back to the Holy Prophet. It is an impossibility to try to take the narrators all the way back to the Holy Prophet. And so, subhanAllah, even from an academic lens, when you combine the essence and the spirituality and the mystical nature of the 12, you'll see that you can never enter the Holy Prophet without the 12 descendants, the 12 successors, the 12 princes, the 12 risers, the 12 guardians of this religion. You can never go to any other door except through those 12, subhanAllah. They are, by essence, a sacred geometrical number. It is part of the way things enter. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, and from the chieftains of Bani Israel, he elected 12 nuqaba, and also in the Quran, he says, he created 12 months, 4 of which are sacred. Inshallah, at another lecture, I'll talk about why those 4 months are sacred. But the point was today, brothers and sisters, is we are beyond just arguing and debating books. We have surpassed that discussion. There really is nowhere to hide when it comes to the successorship of the Holy Prophet. Any other avenue you take, you'll hit a dead end. Right now, there is no Khalifa alive. The caliphate system failed. It imploded in itself. It wasn't meant to be that way. It wasn't supposed to be a Game of Thrones. It wasn't supposed to be one dynasty rising over the other. And even when you follow the other chains of imamate, like the Ismaili one, there is even forks within that go in two different directions. There's the Bohra or the Nizari Ismailis. Which one is the right one? Even those, they're still going. Then you have the Zaydi ones that don't even have a clear-cut idea of what the next imam should be other than that he uprises. That is the only tenet of imamate in their belief. So none of those imamates actually trace you back to the teachings of the Holy Prophet of Islam. So no matter where you look, from a logical sense, intellectual sense, spiritual sense, cosmological sense, the 12 around the one are heavily embedded within our reality. With that being said, I won't take up any more of your precious time. Thank you very much for joining me. This is a different topic. It's a very interesting topic, and it requires you to kind of open up your horizons to different forms of this reality. How are other people? How are the mystics? How are the philosophers looking at this reality? Only to find that we align with these subject matters. With that being said, thank you very much for your time tonight. Sallallahu ala Muhammadin wa alihi al-tahirin, walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.
يا حسين يا حسين يا حسين نزل علي علي أكبر
علي 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 أكبر علي علي شبیه پیامبر علی علی شبیه پیامبر علی علی ای جانم علی اکبر علی 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 اکبر علی علی شبیه پیامبر علی علی شبیه پیامبر علی علی ای پیغمبر علی علی شبیہ پیغمبر علی علی اے علی اکبر علی 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 اکبر علی علی شبیہ پیغمبر علی علی شبیہ پیغمبر علی علی اے جانا اے میرا یوسف جمال اکبر رک جاؤ اے جانا
نہ جی سکے
گی تمہارے مادر رک جاؤ اے جانا
سہیں گے
کیسے یہ داغ سرور رک جاؤ رکو اے صفدر علی علی رکو اے صفدر علی علی شبیہ پیغمبر علی علی شبیہ پیغمبر علی علی اے جانا علی 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 اکبر علی علی شبیہ پیغمبر علی علی
شبیہ
پیغمبر علی علی اے جانا ہے ام لیلا کی لب پہ نوحہ واویلا اے جانا لہو میں ڈوبا ہے لال میرا واویلا اے جانا ہوا ہے سینے کی پر نیزہ واویلا فدا ہو مادر علی علی فدا ہو مادر علی علی شبیہ پیغمبر علی علی شبیہ پیغمبر علی علی اے علی اکبر علی 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 اکبر علی علی شبیہ پیغمبر علی علی شبیہ پیغمبر علی علی اے جانا نبی کی صورت نبی کی سیرت اے اکبر اے جانا نثار تجھ پہ جہان کی عظمت اے اکبر اے جانا رستی ہے تجھے شاہد اے اکبر اے گول حیدر علی علی اے گول حیدر علی علی شبیہ پیغمبر علی علی شبیہ پیغمبر علی علی اے علی اکبر علی 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 اکبر علی علی شبیہ پیغمبر علی علی شبیہ پیغمبر علی علی یا حسین
یا حسین یا حسین
ہائے مظلوم حسین میرا مظلوم حسین آئے مظلوم حسین میرا مظلوم حسین آئے مظلوم حسین میرا مظلوم حسین میرا مظلوم حسین آئے مظلوم حسین میرا مظلوم حسین
عصر عاشور میرا لال بڑا پیاسا ہے، آئے مظلوم حسین میرا مظلوم حسین میرا مظلوم حسین، یہ محمد کا نواسا ہے، علی کا بیٹا، کیا خطا ہے میرے بیٹے کی بتاؤ تو ذرا، ظالموں کیوں اس سے بے جرموں خطا گھیرا ہے، آئے مظلوم حسین میرا مظلوم حسین، آئے مظلوم حسین، عصر عاشور میرا لال بڑا پیاسا ہے، آئے مظلوم حسین میرا مظلوم حسین میرا مظلوم حسین، ہائے تنہائی کا عالم کے کوئی پاس نہیں، ہائے قاسم نہیں اکبر نہیں عباس نہیں، یا علی یا میرا لال بڑا تنہا ہے، آئے مظلوم حسین میرا مظلوم حسین، آئے مظلوم حسین میرا مظلوم حسین، عصر عاشور میرا لال بڑا پیاسا ہے، آئے مظلوم حسین میرا مظلوم حسین میرا مظلوم حسین، ایک دن میں بھر لشکر کا بھی غم دیکھا ہے، اس نے عباس کا اکبر کا بھی غم دیکھا ہے، دفن کر کے علی اصغر کو ابھی آیا ہے، آئے مظلوم حسین میرا مظلوم حسین، آئے مظلوم حسین، عصر عاشور میرا لال بڑا پیاسا ہے، آئے مظلوم حسین میرا مظلوم حسین میرا مظلوم حسین، ہائے چھلنی ہے جگر پھر بھی نہیں رویا ہے، کتنے دن سے تو میرے لال نہیں سویا ہے، آ میری گود میں سو جا تو بہت جاگا ہے، آئے مظلوم حسین میرا مظلوم حسین، آئے مظلوم حسین، عصر عاشور میرا لال بڑا پیاسا ہے، آئے مظلوم حسین میرا مظلوم حسین میرا مظلوم حسین،
Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein. مولا حق امام یا حسن یا حسین، 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 مولا حق امام یا حسن یا حسین. شبیر کی وہ لاڈلی، شبیر کی وہ لاڈلی، سینے پہ جو شاہ کے پلی، سینے پہ جو شاہ کے پلی، جس کی ابا بن میں جلی، جس کی ابا بن میں جلی، منہ پر تماچوں کے نشان. مولا حق امام یا حسن یا حسین، مولا حق امام یا حسن یا حسین، مولا حق امام یا حسن یا حسین، مولا حق امام یا حسن یا حسین. وہ عابد بیمار تھا، وہ عابد بیمار تھا، چلنے سے جو لاچار تھا، چلنے سے جو لاچار تھا، اور شام کا بازار تھا، اور شام کا بازار تھا، اور مصطفیٰ کی بیٹیاں. مولا حق امام یا حسن یا حسین، مولا حق امام یا حسن یا حسین، مولا حق امام یا حسن یا حسین، مولا حق امام یا حسن یا حسین. کہتی تھی یہ قاسم کی ماں، کہتی تھی یہ قاسم کی ماں، مارا گیا قاسم جوان، مارا گیا قاسم جوان. اے لال میں ڈھونڈوں کہاں، اے لال میں ڈھونڈوں کہاں، مہندی تیری صحرا کہاں. مولا حق امام یا حسن یا حسین، مولا حق امام یا حسن یا حسین، مولا حق امام یا حسن یا حسین، مولا حق امام یا حسن یا حسین. المصطفیٰ والمرتضیٰ، المصطفیٰ والمرتضیٰ، یا رب تیرا عنوان تھا، یا رب تیرا عنوان تھا. 14 تیرے یہ چاند تھے، 14 تیرے یہ چاند تھے، اور ایک تو یزدان تھا. مولا حق امام یا حسن یا حسین، مولا حق امام یا حسن یا حسین، مولا حق امام یا حسن یا حسین، مولا حق امام یا حسن یا حسین. شبیر کی وہ لاڈلی، شبیر کی وہ لاڈلی، سینے پہ جو شاہ کے پلی، سینے پہ جو شاہ کے پلی، جس کی ابا بن میں جلی، جس کی ابا بن میں جلی، منہ پر تماچوں کے نشان. مولا حق امام یا حسن یا حسین، 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 یا حسین یا حسین یا حسین یا حسین حسین یا حسین یا حسین یا حسین. دین بچا لیا دے کر اپنا سر، دین بچا لیا دے کر اپنا سر، نام کر چلا باہر حسین. دین بچا لیا دے کے اپنا سر دی بچا لیا، دے کے اپنا سر نام کر چلا باہر حسین، بچا لیا دے کر اپنا سر دی بچا لیا، دے کر اپنا سر نام کر چلا باہر حسین، بے قرار ہے درد مند ہے، بے قرار ہے درد مند ہے، 3 روز سے آب بند ہے، 3 روز سے آب بند ہے، صدقے اے گوہر تیری پیاس پر، صدقے اے گوہر تیری پیاس پر نام کر چلا باہر حسین، دی بچا لیا دے کے اپنا سر، دی بچا لیا دے کر اپنا سر نام کر چلا باہر حسین، قتل ہو گیا نوجوان پسر، قتل ہو گیا نوجوان پسر، نام کو نہیں تیری چشم تر، نام کو نہیں تیری چشم تر، حد سے بڑھ گیا صبر کس قدر، حد سے بڑھ گیا صبر کس قدر، نام کر چلا باہر حسین، دی بچا لیا دے کر اپنا سر، دی بچا لیا دے کر اپنا سر نام کر چلا باہر حسین، نام کر چلا باہر حسین، یا حسین حسین یا حسین یا حسین۔
صلوا على محمد وآل محمد، صلوا على محمد وآل محمد. It's been a while since I have done a nawha. It's long time. But while I'm sitting over here, I remember Sister Savarjan, God bless her soul. It's like she's really, her soul is talking to me. And this is a special dedication to her, inshallah, because she always requests that nawha from me. دق الصادر يا شيعة ويلي وويلا، دق الصادر يا شيعة ويلي وويلا، على الحسين بن علي لا إله إلا الله، دق الصادر يا شيعة ويلي وويلا، على الحسين بن علي لا إله إلا الله، دق الصادر يا شيعة ويلي وويلا، على الحسين بن علي، زينب تنادي العباس ويلي وويلا، جيش العدا سابانا، زينب تنادي العباس ويلي وويلا، جيش العدا سابانا، لا إله إلا الله، دق الصادر يا شيعة ويلي وويلا، على الحسين بن علي لا إله إلا الله، دق الصادر يا شيعة ويلي وويلا، على الحسين بن علي لا إله إلا الله، ذبحوا عبد الله الرضيع ويلي وويلا، الله عنده يجازيهم لا إله إلا الله، ذبحوا عبد الله الرضيع ويلي وويلا، الله عنده يجازيهم لا إله إلا الله، دق الصادر يا شيعة ويلي وويلا، على الحسين بن علي لا إله إلا الله، دق الصادر يا شيعة ويلي وويلا، على الحسين بن علي لا إله إلا الله، قطعوا كفوف العباس ويلي وويلا، الله عنده يجازيهم لا إله إلا الله، قطعوا كفوف العباس ويلي وويلا، الله عنده يجازيهم لا إله إلا الله، دق الصادر يا شيعة ويلي وويلا، على الحسين بن علي لا إله إلا الله، ذبحوا مولانا حسين ويلي وويلا الله عنده يجازيهم لا إله إلا الله ذبحوك مولانا حسين جسمه على الثرى مطروح لا إله إلا الله ذبحوك مولانا حسين ويلي وويلا جسمه على الثرى مطروح لا إله إلا الله دقوا الصادر يا شيعة ويلي وويلا على الحسين بن علي لا إله إلا الله دقوا الصادر يا شيعة ويلي وويلا على الحسين بن علي هذا حسين مولانا ويلي وويلا إمامكم يشفع لكم لا إله إلا الله هذا حسين مولانا ويلي وويلا إمامكم يشفع لكم لا إله إلا الله دقوا الصادر يا شيعة ويلي وويلا على الحسين بن علي لا إله إلا الله دقوا الصادر يا شيعة ويلي وويلا على الحسين بن علي لا إله إلا الله كل أرض كربلاء ويلي وويلا كل يوم عاشوراء لا إله إلا الله كل أرض كربلاء كل يوم عاشوراء دقوا الصادر يا شيعة ويلي وويلا على الحسين بن علي دقوا الصادر يا شيعة ويلي وويلا على الحسين بن علي دقوا الصادر يا شيعة ويلي وويلا على الحسين بن علي لا إله إلا الله. Don't forget to recite Surah Al-Fatiha to all our mu'minees that they were with us, Dr. Dalawari, everybody, Sister Savarjan, her husband, Naqi, Ja'fari, everybody, Al-Fatiha, especially to our shuhada'ina, مع الصلاة على محمد وآل محمد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. نويت أن أزور سيدي ومولاي أبا عبد الله الحسين نيابة عن صاحب العصر والزمان عجل الله تعالى فرجه الشريف، نيابة عن والدي والد والدي ومن أوصانا بالزيارة والدعاء. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. السلام عليك يا وارث آدم صفوة الله، السلام عليك يا وارث نوح النبي الله، السلام عليك يا وارث إبراهيم خليل الله، السلام عليك يا وارث موسى كليم الله، السلام عليك يا وارث عيسى روح الله، السلام عليك يا وارث محمد صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم حبيب الله، السلام عليك يا وارث علي أمير المؤمنين بالحق ولي الله، السلام عليك يا ابن محمد المصطفى، السلام عليك يا ابن علي المرتضى، السلام عليك يا ابن فاطمة الزهراء، السلام عليك يا ابن خديجة الكبرى، السلام عليك يا ثأر الله وابن ثأره والوتر الموتور، أشهد أنك قد أقمت الصلاة وآتيت الزكاة وأمرت بالمعروف ونهيت عن المنكر وأطعت الله ورسوله حتى أتاك اليقين، فلعن الله أمة قتلت، ولعن الله أمة ظلمت، ولعن الله أمة سمعت بذلك فرضيت به. يا مولاي يا أبا عبد الله، أشهد أنك كنت نورا في الأصلاب الشامخة والأرحام المطهرة، لم تنجسك الجاهلية بأنجاسها ولم تلبسك من مدلهمات ثيابها، وأشهد أنك من دعائم الدين وأركان المؤمنين، وأشهد أنك الإمام البر التقي الرضي الزكي الهادي المهدي، وأشهد أن الأئمة من ولدك كلمة التقوى وأعلام الهدى والعروة الوثقى والحجة على أهل الدنيا، وأشهد الله وملائكته وأنبياءه ورسله إني بكم مؤمن وبإيابكم موقن، بشرائع ديني وخواتيم عملي، وقلبي لقلبكم سلم، وأمري لأمركم متبع. صلوات الله عليكم وعلى أرواحكم وعلى أجسامكم وعلى أجسادكم وعلى شاهدكم وعلى غائبكم وعلى ظاهركم وعلى باطنكم، بأبي أنت وأمي يا ابن رسول الله، بأبي أنت وأمي يا أبا عبد الله، لقد عظمت الرزية وجلت المصيبة بك علينا وعلى جميع أهل السماوات والأرض، فلعن الله أمة أسرجت وألجمت وتهيأت وتنقبت لقتالك يا مولاي يا أبا عبد الله. قصدت زيارتك وتوجهت إلى مشهدك من بعيد، فأسأل الله بالشأن الذي لك عنده وبالمحل الذي لك لديه أن يصلي على محمد وآل محمد، وأن يجعلنا معكم في الدنيا والآخرة. اللهم أمتنا ممات محمد وآل محمد، وأحينا حياة محمد وآل محمد، واحشرنا مع محمد وآل محمد، وارزقنا في الدنيا زيارة محمد وآل محمد، وفي الآخرة شفاعة محمد وآل محمد. السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله الحسين ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام عليك وعلى الأرواح التي حلت بفنائك وأناخت برحلك. عليك مني سلام الله أبدا ما بقيت وبقي الليل والنهار، ولا جعله الله آخر العهد مني لزيارتكم سويا. السلام على الحسين علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين، خصوصا سيدي ومولاي أبا الفضل العباس ابن أمير المؤمنين، وسيدتي ومولاتي أم المصائب الحوراء زينب، ورحمة الله وبركاته. لتعجيل فرج صاحب العصر والزمان، تيسير الأمور، شفاء المرضى، قضاء الحوائج، إلى روح أمواتكم وأمواتنا، وبالخصوص إلى الحج غيبة محمد حسون، حج كامل هادي العبودي، علي أوكتاي، جميع المؤمنين، دكتور دلاوري، سيستر سفرجان، حج نقي جعفري, all the mu'mineen that were with us, and today we really lost them. Your parents, والديكم ووالدينا وشهدائنا. رحم الله من يقرأ ثواب سورة المباركة الفاتحة مسبوقة بالصلاة على محمد وآل محمد. The brothers, don't forget Dr. Hassan's mother and Sister Sabri's mother too. So I apologize if I have forgotten anybody. That's why I said all the mu'mineen and the mu'minat. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, God bless their souls. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح حي على كيل الأمل حي على كيل الأمل. الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله. اللهم صل على محمد الطيب الطاهرين وارج فرجهم